Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat na mga nakasubaybay sa atin ngayong gabi.
Gandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Ngayon ay March 27. We're very happy to see all of you. Good evening, Attorney E.
Evening sa iyo, Doris, Dr. Doris, and of course, welcome dito sa
Usapang
Usapang
Ed.
Ed.
Alam natin, no, last March 20, magkakasama tayo nung Lunes. No, we were talking about the need for education senators. At kasama natin ang dating presidente ng University of San Carlos, si Father Johnny Miranda SVD. Napakaganda no, ng naging
Yes.
talakayan natin kung paano tayo makasiguro na yung ating mga senatoriables ay dalhin ang issue ng education at kapag nanalo sila, kung paano sila singilin.
At paano natin dapat patuloy na pag-uusapan ang tungkol sa education at paano natin gagawin yan na education na election issue. So sana patuloy natin pag-usapan yan kahit tapos na yung ating episode on that. And tonight,
Maganda ang topic
yeah,
natin
magandang
ngayong
topic natin.
araw,
Oo.
oo, ngayong gabi.
Ang topic natin ngayon ay about mental health and well-being in our schools. Pero bago yan, Doris, ano bang, bago ko ipakilala ang ating guest at subject matter expert, ano bang pag-uusapan natin ngayong gabi?
Marami tayong dapat mapag-usapan 'no, at talagang sabi natin it's very, very, concerning that, it seems that there is an increase 'no, in, issues of mental health and our students are needing a lot of support 'no, from their
Mm-mm.
teachers and their parents.
Mm.
Kaya, magandang topic 'no, itong pag-uusapan natin ngayon.
Yeah, so I think lahat makaka-relate dito, no? Parents, students, school administrators, and even families. No? So magandang pag-usapan yan. So wag na natin patagalin. Let us introduce our guest for tonight.
Okay.
Isang subject matter expert on this. Siya ay isang registered psychologist at registered guidance counselor also. No? Mahaba ang kanyang resume. Alam mo, madalas ko itong nakakasabay dati sa mga speaking engagements. No? So, maganda yung mga ano niya, yung mga nasi-share niya no, ng mga experiences sa mga school. So, wag na natin patagalin. Let's call on our guest, si Dr. Michelle S. Alignay. Doc Michelle,
Hello.
good evening.
Good evening.
Hello,
Good evening,
good
Attorney
evening.
E and Doc D.
And
There.
you are Doc Michelle.
A.
Ah,
Yeah, Doc Michelle or Doc A. My students call
okay,
me
Doc
Doc
A,
A.
puwede naman, Doc A. Alam mo yung episode natin nakakalimutan namin ang title, "It's okay not to be okay."
Yan.
Yes,
Oo,
Yun,
oo,
nice,
okay.
tama. Oo.
nice.
Pero, siyempre, it's also okay if we are okay. So, we'd like
Yes.
to talk about, the issues of mental health of our students primarily.
Mm.
So, the question is, ano bang mga biggest challenges nila ngayon in terms of their mental health, ang mga estudyante na?
Common sa kanila talaga yung anxiety.
Mm-mm.
Anxiety, mas maraming tayong increase ng depression kahit non-clinical. And also, there's an increasing number for basic ed ha, I gather from guidance counselor friends and network, yung ating tinatawag na self-harm. Not
Mm-mm.
necessarily depression, but self-harm alone. So, issue rin yan. And we also have a lot of interpersonal concerns, meaning, how they fare socially. So, if we will contextualize this, lalo na nang nagbago yung daloy, no, patterns natin from pre-pandemic, pandemic, and then now really things have changed. And as someone, I teach in Miriam in the graduate school. Our
Mm-mm.
program there is developmental psychology. So I teach social emotional development. So we really see a lot that there's a lot of lags and developmental
Mm-mm.
delays with students now. Yung bang simpleng makisama, simpleng kumuha ng cues from teachers sa instruction, pakisama with friends, following instruction. And meron din ako nabasa, um,
Mm-mm.
attorney and doc, no, na marami rin ngayon, itong generation na to, they're very individualistic. They resist conformity. Especially
Okay.
when we say sa high school. And
Oo.
given that, parang pag inisip ko, parang napakaraming nangyari dito sa generation na to. Itong mga bata, the onset of digitalization,
Mm-mm.
pandemic, the influx of digital media information, parang lahat naging boiling point of drastic changes.
Oh, Doc Michelle, ano ko lang ng konti ano. So nabanggit mo na anxiety yung
Mm.
common no na challenges.
Yes.
Ito ba ay ano, pareho ba yan sa across grade level sa basic ed? Like ang kinder ba, yan ba may anxiety
Hindi.
na?
Hindi
Oo.
naman,
Ano
hindi
mga yeah.
naman din natin we don't actually know. But, sa grade school meron na rin 'yan.
Grade school?
Naging itsura lang na overthinker sila, they're
Mm.
anticipating na ito. So, puwede rin 'yan kasi alam niyo na itong mga issue ng mental health multifactorial. Hindi
Mm.
puwedeng sa isa lang galing. So, it can be from the family, from the pressure from the community or the society or the rules in the school also, and the
Mm.
support from the school community. And of course, there's also the issue of media that we're talking about. Tapos kung yung bata, natural talaga na mahina yung kanyang inherent coping,
Mm.
it's actually, at risk or weak. Lalo nagbo-boil down yung issue, lalong lumalaki. But I think, mas may awareness kasi tayo. Ang narinig ko sa mga, the older generation, sasabihin nila, "Wala na akong mental health nung araw, eh." I
Yeah,
think
oh,
narinig niyo
parang
na rin 'yan.
mental health is real, 'di ba? Yeah, before you ask Doris, gusto ko lang tanungin si Doc Michelle Doc Michelle, pwede ka ba magkwento sa amin ng like a very specific na mental health issue or crisis na experience mo na na-share ng isang estudyante and how it was addressed properly by a school? Of course, without revealing identities, ha?
Nag-iisip ako ng issue kasi ang mas marami ko ng hina-handle ngayon is actually the faculty and
Mm.
also the higher ed. Pero pagkakaalam ko, ito ang pagkakaalam ko with what I gather from the basic education network and friends who would consult me, really, malaking bagay kung paano nagtutulungan yung school at saka yung home partnership. Kasi I know of a school, talagang naglagay sila ng family counselor para hindi na nila ire-refer sa labas
Mm.
yung estudyante. Para talagang tutok na ng school, they work hand in hand. Kasi if not, the kids cannot actually cope in school. So ito, talagang walang choice yung parents but to
Mm,
cooperate kahit na very
mm,
difficult ng
mm,
cases.
mm,
And part of also of what I gather is that there are really parents who are actually very difficult to talk with. Yung bang may concern na yung anak nila, ito yung mga sentiments, may concern na yung anak nila tapos hindi pa nila inaamin na may concern. Yun yung
Mm.
pinakamahirap po ngayon. Yan, para kaya minsan tatanungin ako, "Dok, paano namin 'to i-ha-handle?" Kasi ayaw naman admit ng parents na yung anak nila, ganito na yung concern, eh, may kaso na. Multiple na yung kaso. So I think that's a bigger issue ng school din, but actually, it's a society issue. Mas malaki yung implication.
yeah. Actually, I want to ask questions about that, no, because we really, really, believe in that how important the parents are, especially in basic education, no, that they are the source of support. Kasi yung anxiety at depression ng bata, dapat yan na ano yan eh, parang na-assuage ng isang magulang na caring, supportive, at truly present. Pero doon muna ako sa una mong sinabi na parang mas marami bang cases ngayon because of what happened during the pandemic? You said no, there was a very big, parang difference or we were disrupted because of the pandemic insofar as the students' development
Yes.
is concerned.
Yeah, because during the lockdown, most of the children are just actually home, especially the basic education, 'di ba? Try to think of it from a developmental psychology angle. Dapat yan. They're playing, they're engaging, they're interacting with people, but 2 years, 3 years, they're stunted. Kaya alam niyo po yung meron tayong mga issue na babalik na ba sa school yung mga bata, tapos ang daming parents, ayaw. Ako as a parent, because I'm also a parent of high school, a junior high and a senior high, I would rather my kids, be at risk for COVID than have more developmental delay. Kasi mas matagal yun i-address eh. Kasi meron naman tayong vaccine eh, may protection naman eh.
Mm.
So, Ang sa'kin kasi na hindi nila nakikita kasi sleeping lang 'yan, eh. Pero ngayon halimbawa yung problema ng hindi maka-cope yung bata, konting ma-stress lang, yung nag-i-increase na yung anxiety. Mas very ang tawag na nga ng parents meron akong there's a needs assessment that was sent to me for a forum for a school that I will do 'no. They're very sensitive, konting 'di ba sa Tagalog nun, konting makanti lang natin sila parang, meron na silang issue agad. But that is actually we did not make them and prepare them for when we open the world after the lockdown. They lack both the developmental skill and let me use the word resilient skills, na kailangan yan sa bahay manggaling. Hindi sila nasubukan, pati I think even money management, hindi nila alam. Ang dami nilang hindi alam.
Yeah.
Sandali, pero yung sensitivity na sinasabi mo,
Hmm.
no, na parang they're sensitive, but that's already a given among adolescents, right? In other
Yes,
words,
yes,
aggravated pa
yes.
nung lockdown sa pandemic.
Naging aggravated siya, tignan niyo kasi 'di ba yung adolescent sensitive enough,
Oo.
nag-i-individuate 'yan, siyempre the high school and then they resist the parents. And the parents, since nagre-react sa kanila, ang ginagawa nila lumalayo sila or nagagalit sila. So sabi ko nga diyan parang lumalabas yung midlife issue ng parent at saka nung teenager, 'di ba, nagsasabay sila
Yes.
sa bahay.
Oo.
So ang nangyayari diyan is that the parents, they're no longer doing what they need to do as parents, lumalayo na lang kusa or natatakot. Instead of getting to know what are the needs of my child. I think that's where we lack. The parents now, we need to understand, ano ba yung kailangan nitong anak ko? Kilala ko ba siya? Or mataas lang yung expectation ko?
Oo. Doc, yeah, Doc Michelle, alam ko na maraming mga schools din na may mga magagandang programa na
Hmm.
kasama yung magulang, ini-involve yung magulang, no?
Yeah.
Sa awareness on mental health and
Mhm.
promotion of well-being. Kaya lang, alam ko, nababanggit din sa akin ng mga schools na kadalasan yung lack of engagement din ng mga parents or alam mo, sinasabi nila, paano ba namin mapipilit or paano namin ma-involve? Kasi kung di sila mag-volunteer,
Oo.
they don't really participate. How
Or
is
kung
that?
sino pa
Yeah,
yung
oo.
merong anak na medyo may problema, yun pa yung mga magulang na hindi mo
Correct.
mapapunta sa school.
Oo.
Correct po. In my years as a parent educator, when I do parenting talks, talagang yan po yung sentiment. Kaya babalik ko nga sa iyo yan, attorney eh. Meron ba tayong mga way para ma-enforce din ng school? Kasi takot din yung school to enforce the parents. Kasi magagalit yung parent, bakit daw kailangan sila. Kaya lang, di ba, I think meron din tayong mentality na nasa school na nga yung anak ko eh, kayo kailangan mag-form dyan. The problem is that we left the formation of our children to the school, but no, it's supposed to be a homeschool partnership.
Yeah,
Kaya
maganda yung sinabi mo niyan, Doc Michelle. Oo. I'm sure maraming makaka-relate na sa ating na mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon. Pero sige, ano lang 'to, mabilis lang. Alam niyo po ba, Doc Michelle and Doris, meron kasi tayong batas, no? Matagal na batas na 'to, yung Education Act of 1982, yung BP 232. May provision doon na part ng obligation ng parents sa basic education to coordinate and to cooperate in the school
in
in
the
the
school.
implementation of programs, curricular
Mhm.
and co-curricular, no? So, kasama
Yun.
diyan lahat ng program. So, meron silang meron silang obligasyon din, no, sa batas natin. No? Konti lang din yung nakakaalam nito. But ito, may tanong pala ako, Doc Michelle. Sorry na excite lang ako do sa topic
Okay
na
po.
inopen mo about parents. Kasi sabi mo yung una, yung lack of recognition ng parents kung may issue na yung bata, na pinarating nung bata sa school, di ba? Tapos
Mm.
parang walang dumidistansya yung parents. That's just one side. Merong sa isang banda rin naman, na feeling ko, hindi lack of recognition, kundi parang abusing it or misusing
Mm.
mental health. Halimbawa,
Yeah.
may problema sa anak, ang nagparating ay school, no? May disciplinary
Mm.
issue, etc. Yung parent ang magre-raise bigla ng may mental health issue
Yung
yung
mental
anak
health
ko,
issue.
hindi nyo pwedeng i-subject to any sanctions or dahan-dahan
Yeah.
kayo kasi meron
Classic
siyang
yan.
how is that addressed also? Parang hirap
Okay.
naman balansehin.
Kaya in my experience being in the school, kaya importante yung homeschool partnership at alam ng school kung meron man critical assessment 'Di ba sa simula pa lang, every start of the school year, nagpapadala ng form.
Mm.
So, kaya lang po meron tayong culture, na family culture na i-secret natin, huwag natin sabihin. But that's actually forbidding the school to be involved and you're limiting the school to help your child. Tapos pag nagka-problema na, gagawin natin na excuse yung, may mental health concern yung anak ko may developmental delay yung anak ko kaya nagkaganyan. Pero in the first place, kaya po talagang sa school, if there are psychological assessments, meron mga specialist reports that we need to know, paalam niyo sa amin para kami, kasi ang takot ng parent baka ma-label yung anak nila, but I think there's child protection law for that. Ma-label, ma-isolate. So, ito, for the good of the children, kasi naka-encounter po rin ako ng mga estudyante na may mga assessment yung mga parents, pag start pa lang ng school, papakita na sa akin yung assessment. Magpaplano na kami kung paano namin tutulungan. And then, estudyante kong yun na tinulungan namin, marami na kaming natulungan na gano'n.
Yung follow-up question lang, but not really a question, but more of a comment, no? And this is very real for private school, very useful. The parents choose to enroll in a particular private school. Therefore, they should
Yes.
cooperate with the school. They should fully understand what it stands for, what are its values, what are its academic and non-academic programs. Pinili mo yung eskwelahan eh. So anong dahilan para hindi ka mag-cooperate? So yan, kasama talaga yan sa orientation activities na i-impress sa school. Some private schools have very good practices. For those who are coming in the first time, there's a family interview. Not just the student, but the parents or the guardians as well. And then after that, at the end of the entire program, is an exit interview that will also include the parents in that exit interview. So in effect, it's a commitment that they will do the work together in the formation of the child. Pero syempre, easier said than done. Kasi kahit nasa Education Act of 1982 yan, how enforceable is it? At saka, susunod ba talaga yung mga schools? Tingnan mo ang kaso ng private school. Siyempre, ang mga private school, alam natin to, no? Teachers, medyo minsan, ilag sa magulang kasi, alam mo, yan ang nagbabayad ng tuition eh. Baka pag nagka-problema tayo, lalo tayong mawalan ng estudyante, di ba? In a public school setting naman, hindi naman pwede ngayon on the other side, yung parent maging masyadong assertive at masyadong maraming entitlement. Kasi nga libre, di ba? So sabi ko, napaka
Yes.
counter, so counter to contrary to what we should be doing, itong mga ganitong klaseng pananaw. Kasi kung bottom line ko, isa lang eh. Pare-pareho nating anak yan. Di ba? So ano ang
Yes.
pwede nating gawin na magkasama para mapabuti yung bata? Pero yun lang. So, ayusin natin on both sides. Pero of course, easier said than done.
Pero Doris, yung
Miss
nabanggit
Doris,
mo
Doc
sa... Ay,
Doris.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Doc Michelle.
Doc
Medyo
Doris,
nade-delay
meron
lang.
din akong dialogue dyan.
Mm-mm.
Pag medyo difficult yung parents, sasabihin ko dati na pareho lang naman po tayo ng goal. Gusto natin tulungan yung anak nyo.
Napakaganda.
Gusto ko sabihin, nagkataon lang, anak nyo yan. Kayo magdidesisyon. Ako
Or tayo special
tumutulong
parent.
lang.
Special parent
Yeah.
naman tayo, di ba?
Oo. Doris, yung lang nabanggit mo na like sa public schools na yung hindi masyadong dapat entitled yung mga parents kasi libre na nga. Pero actually sa katotohanan,
May ganun
minsan
silang
baliktad
pananaw.
eh. Parang mas pa nga eh, yung kung kailan libre na, parang mas ito from my personal experience, mas very aggressive yung mga doon because it's against government and they demand that education is a right. Marami na akong tinulungan na parents actually na teachers na na supposedly na bully ng aggressive parents, di ba? Pero ito ang ko, Doc Michelle. Ang ganda ng discussion na natin eh. So yung kanina binanggit mo na yung may totoong issue, no, merong totoong mental health issues yung bata. Hindi lang na dinidisclose, no? Pero yung paano naman yung mga instances na wala naman talagang totoong mental health issues.
Ay,
Pero parang they just bring out that card. They, 'di ba? They use it. They misuse it, no? To get away with something. So, how do we address that? Ang pangalawa kong question dun is, paano ba talaga, how do we, before we address, before the schools address, for example, an issue na merong kinalaman sa mental health, nire-require ba dapat yan na merong validation ng expert or yung guidance counselor na ng school lang would be enough to say it? Kasi nga, depende minsan sa sino yung nag-assert nun, di ba?
mm,
Pag yung parents ang nag-assert, wala namang nakita dati yung schools, yung guidance counselor natin. Wala, parang okay naman. And then they just bring it out just to get away with something. Then they'll present something na favorable sa kanila. At the end of the day, sino ba dapat nag-decide na this is a mental
okay.
health issue?
Okay. If we are talking about a mental health illness, the
Illness.
clinical side, yung talagang clinically depressed, may
Mm-mm.
anxiety, it's actually the psychiatrist, the medical doctor who can declare.
Mm-mm.
The assessment psychologist, they will come in because they have the battery of tests. So meron tayong mga assessment psychologists, sila ito yung may battery of tests, interviews. Silang dalawa ng psychiatrist, usually tag team yan. The psychiatrist will order kung kulang pa yung evidence niya to say na meron tong clinical na ganito. Pero minsan, pag lahat ng symptoms present, ayan na, lahat ng presenting symptoms na check na. Yung assessment psychologists, they can only suggest, but they're more conservative in declaring. If we're talking about disorder. But
Mm-mm.
if yung normal na may pinagdadaanan,
Yes.
may concern, magandang malaman ng lahat na normal sa tao na may pinagdadaanan. Pero
Mm-mm.
hindi lahat may proper coping skill. Lalo na sa mga bata. Diyan tayo nagkakaiba-iba. Lahat tayo may problema, lahat tayo may stress, but it's actually how we cope with it. Cope with the stress, cope with the situation. And so, doon papasok yung mga guidance counselor, teacher mentors. So alam mo na ilang buwan na 'tong batang 'to, itong batang 'to napakatalino. Pero bakit bakit for the past 2, 3 weeks wala siyang kibo sa school? So pwede natin 'yun makita by observing. Kaya meron sinabi si Doc Doris kanina na word, presence. Kaya,
Presence.
even though we're teaching, we are also called to actually be good observer. Kaya ako, whenever I give talks for teachers, I encourage them, have also a logbook. Kasi dun mo isusulat lahat ng na-note mo na kakaiba for student. Kasi isang araw, parang ito. Or matututo rin tayo kumusta. Kasi dyan mo naman nalaman na, ay, may pinagdadaanan tong batang to. Ayaw magsalita kahit
Very
kanina.
very good yung
Mm-mm.
ano, no? Kasi seriously, no, like for example in some schools, um very strong ang mga homeroom program because the
Yes.
homeroom class advisor is the one who is really present to that class
Mhm.
in a ratio of 1:40 compared say to
Yes.
guidance counselor, right, who's sometimes in
Yes.
charge of an entire batch. Now having said that, meron kami dating mga programa na teachers as counselors. 'Di ba? Of
Mm.
course, we're not using the term,
Yes.
as a guidance counselor that's
Mm-mm.
licensed with
Mm-mm.
masters and all that.
Yeah.
But yun na nga. Kasi ang palagi kong sinasabi rin, ang magulang kapag ang bata kapag nasa eskwelahan, yung magulang niya, yung teacher.
Correct.
Siya yung significant adult na pwedeng umalalay sa bata. Kasi sabi
Mhm.
mo nga, lahat may pinagdadaanan. 'Di ba? And then sometimes, developmental lang yan. I mean, not for anything. Adolescents really have these
Yeah.
periods of uncertainties, of really wanting to know themselves more and being very insecure about a lot of things. Normal yan na pinagdadaanan. Ang mahalaga is merong significant na adult na pwedeng
Yes.
gumabay sa'yo. Ang
Yes.
problema lang is kung yung sa eskwelahan, walang ganon. Therefore, ano ang
Mhm.
tamang practices ng isang eskwelahan to ensure na may ganong provision? So, class
Yeah.
advisor, tama yon.
Yes.
Guidance program,
That's another.
homeroom program.
the homeroom program. You know, the homeroom program is very powerful if it's followed. Kaya, 'di ba, yun nga lang with the realities minsan 'pag maraming walang pasok, bagyo, kung ano nangyari, yung homeroom program tatanggalin 'yan, papalitan niya ng subject. So, pero yung homeroom program, kung teacher advisor yung nagko-conduct, it's a way for you to get to know your students in a non-formal manner.
Mm.
So, mas malalaman mo na, ay, kaya siya ginawa kasi hindi lang siya additional workload. Eh, di ba, usually kasama yan sa load.
Yeah.
Pero, kasama rin yan for you to be actually engaged with the student. Kung makilala mo sila through the homeroom program, mas maaga nating maa-address ang any mental health issue.
Yes.
Kasi
Mm.
kilala ko 'tong batang 'to, eh. Alam ko
Yeah.
na hindi siya ganyan.
Siguro dagdag ko lang, no, Attorney E, no, and
Mm.
Doc Michelle, when we were having homeroom programs then, our homeroom is Monday first period.
Mm.
Okay? And then every single day, from Tuesday to Friday, there's 15 minutes of homeroom.
Yes.
Okay? With advisor, kasi ano yung homeroom? Para siyang transition from a weekend na nandun ka sa
Mm.
bahay mo, na babalik ka na sa classroom.
Mm.
Kaya nga
Yeah.
siya homeroom. Hindi ko alam kung
Yeah.
tama yung naisip ko na kaya siya
Tama
homeroom,
po.
no? Kasi parang tina-transition kita from home to the classroom. So,
Mm.
wag namang first period pa lang, science agad. Hindi. First period on a Monday, na medyo yung bata, ano pa yan, di ba? Medyo masaya pa. Dun sa kanyang weekend, may konting transition. O, kumusta? How was the weekend?
Mm.
Parang ganon. I'm not sure if all
Historian.
the schools are doing that now.
Well, I would say not. Kasi, ang nangyayari, di ba, minsan yung iba, hindi nila pina-follow yung homeroom module. Pangalawa, bukod sa kinukuha nila, ang nangyayari, ito yung days na magre-remind, magko-collect ng reply slips, lahat ng administrative function, dito nila gagawin. Pero actually, that's why it's actually made. Kaya meron mga schools naman, yung mga admin function, last period nila ginagawa, nagdadagdag ng 10 minutes.
Mm-mm.
Hindi naman everyday. May nakita ako na
Mm.
gano'n na yung practice nila kahit thrice a week, yung teacher, yung homeroom teacher, papasok, yung class advisor, to do those things. But actually, to check in din. It's very powerful kasi you can
Mm.
check in with the students. Kasi maraming nangyari at the end of the school day. Ang isa pa, meron mga school, bukod sa homeroom, the schools I work with, nagkataon may homeroom, may guidance classes.
Mm.
Once a month. Para
Yes,
ako na
yes.
guidance counselor, may interaction din, may comfort level din sa akin yung mga bata.
Yan.
Kaya medyo nano-note ko rin kung sino yung
Oo.
parang ito, ang tahi-tahimik nito, walang kibo lagi. Tapos pag nag-routine interview ako sa kanila, mayroon akong insight na, ito yung kailangan kong tanungin sa kanya. So it's actually, meron protective factors at may protective mechanisms talaga ang private schools. The homeroom, the guidance. Yun nga lang, I'm hoping that it's not taken for granted.
Yeah. Well, ang isang maganda yung sinasabi mo, Doc Michelle, lalo na yung very empowering sa ating mga teachers, no, to do that, no, to be able to do that at hindi lang ito function ng guidance counselor, they can actually do it, no, sa level ng classrooms. I think ang isang problema diyan ay sa public schools, no, lalo na. Pangalawa, how do we also, well, we empower our teachers, pero at the same time, parang yung iba naman, they feel na they don't have enough protection. Some
Yeah.
also parents parang misconstrue it, no? Or hindi na iintindihan masyado yung role na yan ng teachers, no? Lalo na kung hindi pabor sa kanilang anak yung na-observe ng teacher. Now, of course, hindi kita tatanungin dyan kung paano natin i-address yan dahil malaking mabigat na usapan. Pero merong batas na naipasa, no, recently lang, yung RA 12080, no, yung promotion of mental health and well-being
Yes.
in basic education. So,
Mhm.
ang isa sa ini-introduce ng batas na ito ay palakasin yung guidance programs, tinatawag nila care centers na daw ngayon, at parang unpacking yung role ng isang guidance counselor na hindi kailangan na guidance counselor lang gumawa lahat nito. Pwedeng actually ibang rules ito, pero pwede nating i-delegate sa teachers, sa ibang school officials. How do you think this will address yung lalo na sabi mo tumataas nga yung mga issues ng mga mental health issues sa ating mga schools?
That is good kasi we're diffusing the load sa guidance and making everyone accountable and responsible for mental health. Kasi yung burden ng guidance ngayon, yung bang porke mental health yung issue, automatic, hindi pa kinakausap ng teacher, ire-refer na. It's also a way for everyone to be educated that mental health is actually, we can already encourage everyone to have good mental health. At hindi tayo pupunta dun sa point ng problematic. So pag sinabi natin ni-refer na natin, ibig sabihin, we already have more problems. Pero pwede naman the school become a safe space. Siya
Safe
mismo, so
space.
halimbawa, pattern pa lang ng pag-greet sa bata, alam nila kung saan sila pupunta, the information that they get, yun din, they know that the teachers they have clear boundaries, but they know that they can be turned, I can turn to my teacher. Kaya ko siyang tanungin. I can open up to my teacher, but she will not, um, disclose me. My daughter, I just want to share this. My daughter
Mm.
recently, she was fuming kasi sabi niya, Ma'am, ano ba talaga yung role ng guidance? Ganyan, bakit? Yung friend niya sa church, who's her age, is into self-harm. So, and hindi naman lumala, pero the child admitted that she's really feeling very lonely for the past weeks. Inamin sa kanya. Tapos, nung nag-interview, pinatawag siya sa guidance, inamin ng bata, sa guidance counselor, because they're there for, pinatawag agad yung parent. So, galit na galit yung bata. I don't know who to turn to anymore. Kasi
Mm.
I don't want my parents to be burdened because I just felt lonely. I'm not, doing that self-harm thing anymore. So, yung bata, she felt so unsafe in the school. Kasi immediately, without consultation, ang promise daw nung guidance, kaya yung daughter ko, kina-clarify niya kung ano talaga yung role. Kasi, Ma'am, what's the role ba talaga? Are you supposed to spill everything? So, marami tayong ganun. Kaya, yun yung concern. Sino pa yung pupuntahan ng mga bata? Ang pinuntahan niya ay kapwa bata to share. So, who is the safe adult now? Who is the adult that these children can turn to, especially in the school?
Ano ko lang 'no, kasi yung, dati 'di ba may ano, parang papa-guidance kita. Alam mo, it's
Yes.
something that is so negative, no?
Natatakot tuloy si
When
guidance
in fact,
counselor.
a guidance program is meant for all the
To guide.
students at different developmental stages. I remember
Yes.
before we had understanding the self, understanding
Yeah.
their own sexuality. Guidance programs yan na
Yes.
pwedeng ibigay ng guidance office with the guidance counselors as the ones facilitating those sessions. In other words, dapat maging part of in the scheme of things na maisip ng isang bata na kasama ito sa pangkalahatang programa, comprehensive or
Mhm.
holistic formation program that is offered by the school. Minsan kasi, siguro kasalanan din natin or ng mga iba na nagkaroon siya ng ganong
Negative,
klaseng
oo.
konsepto.
Mm.
Pero yung sinabi mo kanina na kwento na parang, sinong pupuntahan ng bata yon? Actually, mas malaking problema ko dyan
Mm.
Yeah.
Kung may batas, wala mang batas on strengthening mental health and well-being of our students with formation programs, or if we have an education act or whatever, your basic here is how your teachers are credible as formators,
Yes.
not just content area experts, but also formators who journey with the students. Kasi pag wala
Agree.
nang mapuntahan yung bata, paano na? Ako bilang magulang, like ko sinasabi yan no, sa mga anak ko, wala kayong hindi pwedeng sabihin sa akin. Ayoko kayong kung saan-saan tumatakbo, kahit guidance
Mm.
counselor nyo pa, because of some very personal issues.
Yes.
Kailangan kayo nyo yung sabihin sa mga magulang. But not all parents, I suppose, are ready that way. Kaya nga yung
Yes.
eskwelahan, ang taas ng burden Dahil nasa inyo yung mga bata 8 hours a day, and then all of these legislations actually mandate that we offer such programs. Or even while there is no legislation, sariling mission mo na lang. Ikaw ay isang Catholic school, concerned ka, no? Sa well-being ng mga
Yes.
bata, talagang gagawin mo yan. Isipin mo naman ng isang magulang. Isa, dalawa, tatlo yung anak. Yung isang class advisor, 40. 40 ka agad, di ba? Ang aasikasuhin niya. Kaya ang laki ng burden, no, sa mga
But Maurice, gusto ko yung
teachers.
term mo, formators. Kasi totoo naman we're forming humans. Pag na-trauma ka sa teacher, mas malaki yung problema doon kasi wala ka na nga safe
May
space sa
trauma sa
bahay.
guidance
Na-trauma ka
counselor,
pa
no?
sa teacher. Yun nga. But let me tell you, I'm blessed because the guidance centers that I work with are the progressive ones. Yung hiwalay yung discipline, hindi kami nakaupo sa discipline. I think
Mm.
hanggang ngayon meron pa rin ganyan.
Oh.
Na
Which is
yung
the
guidance is
correct
for
one, di ba?
No,
discipline.
dapat hindi sila
Dapat hindi
nakaupo.
sinasama
But
sa
no,
discipline,
Oo.
no?
hindi talaga. And hindi rin tayo yung nagsasanction.
Yes,
Oo.
We
yes.
are
Otherwise,
there to
iiwas sa
guide
inyo,
the
no?
child.
Imbis na lumapit, di ba?
Kaya
Tama.
talagang nausay ipapag-guidance kita.
Oh,
Oo.
Yun
natawa
yun
ako
eh.
dun eh. Totoo naman yun, di ba, dati?
Oo.
Papag-guidance kita
Totoo
parang,
po.
imbis na napaka-negative na yung hindi pa nakikita yung guidance, guidance counselor, takot na yung bata.
Pero
Eh.
ako, gusto ko yung parenting workshops eh. Pero sinong
Mhm.
magbibigay? School pa rin? Parent association? May NGO ba na ginagawa ito? Churches? Kasi alam mo, yung mga magulang, ako I also feel for them. Hindi rin naman nila alam kung anong gagawin nila eh.
Hindi
Aminin
rin
na
nila
natin,
alam.
di ba?
Right.
Sila rin mismo natataranta. Di ba? How
Yeah.
their children are behaving because of
Mhm.
different influences.
Mm-mm.
So, kailangan
Mhm.
meron din silang maayos na programa. Pero sino kaya ang provider niyan?
Actually, it's really, yan yung walang malinaw na provider sa totoo lang. Kasi ako, for me, I'm a parenting educator. Kaya lang, gano'ng kalaki lang yung extent ko? The church is extending their help.
Mm-mm.
But, they are volunteers. Yung sa Catholic Church, the Basic Ecclesiastical Committee, the Family and Life, volunteers din yan eh. Yung iba, and actually, meron din tayong programs na parenting program by law, by this institution, by this NGO, by this government institution, but nothing is actually downloaded properly. It's not
Mm-mm.
fully implemented. So alam niyo, magandang tanong yan, sino mag-i-implement? So kung meron din talagang principal, kung meron din guidance counselor, ako naniniwala ako, it's actually to bridge the gap on so many society issue. We just might need also the parent educator. Yung i-strengthen the parent education kasi parang okay, we are educating the kids but yung sinasabi, nobody prepared us for the role of parents.
Yes.
So, actually, mas maraming ganun. Kaya mas marami ngayon ang mga bata, yung mga parents, can I use the word, parang na rin silang lutang. Hindi nila alam saan sila lalagay. Takot sa anak, o kaya naman isuspoiled yung anak. Tapos pag ginamit na yung mental health, natataranta na sila, tapos gagawin na nilang excuse, and the problem continues.
Ganda naman ng ganda rin sinabi mo. Kaya lang parang nadagdagan ng problema. Pero ako alam mo yung half an hour pinag-uusapan natin yung mental health issues. Ibig sabihin meron na. And how do we address this, di ba? Or yung karamihan ng perspectives saan natin idudulog, saan sila pupunta. Pero may gusto ko isang usapin na gusto ko rin explore. Yung how do we even prevent yung ganyan, yung anxiety, like yung promotion of a positive environment. Na alam mo, sabi nga nila kadalasan, although syempre lawyer ako ng maraming schools, ang default kasi ng schools prohibitions, sanctions, and I think pagdating sa punto na yun is already late intervention. How do we
Yes.
promote a safe space, a nurturing environment, yung a positive environment na hindi yung, di ba, uso ngayon yung mga discrimination, bullying, like gender issues. I think marami dyan pinanggagalingan ng mga anxieties din. So, siguro punta tayo dun sa usapan na yon bago tayo dumating dun sa, pagtingin sa mga actual cases, how do we even prevent it from happening?
Magandang tingnan yung lahat ng pattern ng school at yung culture. Nakakatulong ba to enhance the mental health? Kasi tama, meron tayong disorder, meron tayong mental health concern, pero meron din tayong yung kinasabing ill-being yon. Ito, ang well-being is actually your totality.
The totality.
Cognitive, the physical, the emotional and the spiritual. Just for example,
Mm-mm.
minsan, di ba binawasan na nga ito sa curriculum, yung PE at
Mm-mm.
saka arts. Tapos, binawasan na nga yung time. Yung pa yung nangyayaring nagiging theoretical. Pero, isn't it that arts, music, and PE saved us during the lockdown? And
Mm-mm.
these are the areas that are proven actually to support mental health.
Therapeutic.
Bakit natin binawasan? Naging very academic tayo, hindi natin binalanse. Pangalawa, teachers should also know that their words are very powerful. Yung mga statement nila sa bata, halimbawa yung parang, ano na naman ang ginawa niyo nung weekend, puro na lang wala kayong ginawang assignment. That alone, because they don't know what's really the reality of the child at home. Yung
Yeah.
generalizing, that is,
Mm-mm.
lalo na yung, let me just use, baka may dysfunctional pattern sa school na hindi nakakatulong, na
Mm-mm.
kailangan maging open. Kasi baka ang sasabihin, ganito na talaga yung practice eh. Hindi, simple lang
Mm-mm.
yan. Simpleng pananalita, simpleng manner, simpleng dagdagan lang natin ng minuto. Ang laki ng field. Ayaw pagtakbuhin yung mga bata sa field. Bakit? Baka may masaktan, pero
Mm-mm.
baka mas maarawan, baka pawisan yung hormones nila mas
Mm-mm.
maging healthy, di ba? Kasi
Mm-mm.
yun yung nakita natin na very powerful eh. Another one, these children are into so much digital connection. So in
Yun.
school, let us be the human connection.
Mm. Tsaka may isa pang ano do'n, sorry Doc Michelle. Like, kasi 'di ba yung binabanggit mo, ano yung behavior sa school, yung mga malaking bagay, the words that we use. Pero palagay ko rin kasi overexposed din yung mga bata sa social media, yung
Yes.
behavior na na-adapt nila do'n dinadala sa school, eh. Like mga salitang 'di ba, misogynist, homophobic,
Yeah.
'yan na nakikita nila sa society. How can the school really counter this mga
Well,
risky
let's
behaviors?
say, let's say we cannot counter it, but we need to be credible. You know, this generation, they're looking for authentic people. Yan ang truth ng studies about the Gen Z and the
Yan.
Alpha Gen. They're looking for authenticity. Pag tayo ay peke, we don't walk
Mm.
our talk. As educators, as
Mm,
administrators, even as parents, we lose them. Hindi na tayo
mm,
makakakonect sa kanila. And I think ito madalas kong sabihin, this generation wants to know why, not what. Yung what, kaya nilang i-Google yun. Kaya nilang i-chat GPT yun. Pero yung why, madalas sila, why do we need to do that? Hindi na natin pwedeng sabihin yung basta sumunod lang kayo. So they need
Mm.
people who will actually explain to them, and that develops critical thinking, right?
But,
Bakit
but
hindi
yeah,
pwede tong policy to? Bakit
Doc
ganyan ang
Michelle,
nangyayari?
agree ako lahat sa sinasabi mo, but that is not the traditional
mm,
and conservative learning environment which many
Yes.
schools still have at this time. In other
Yeah.
words, maraming teachers threatened na hindi sila
Mm.
authority. So, in
Mhm.
other words, they're very stringent, very disciplined, kasi ayaw nila na masyadong matanong. Kasi baka
Mm.
hindi sila makasagot, di ba? Or we
Yes.
also have very competitive learning environments. Cause of
Yes.
anxiety and grades. Biggest
True.
source of anxiety. Kaya yung mga estudyante, pag sinasabihan ko na it's okay not to have very good scores, as long as you really tried your best and then you learn from your mistakes, they would laugh and say, okay, fine, class advisor mode. Kasi pero sa class
Oh.
advisor who
Yes,
will
yes, yes.
console them, pero at the end
Yeah.
of the day, grades ang usapan dito, right?
Mm.
So it's a
mm,
very
Yeah.
competitive environment even for grades, which causes anxiety. So I think yung buong setup ng eskwelahan, if we are in a progressive institution, I
Mm.
think we are moving towards those strategies and these kinds of thinking which are non-traditional. Pero kung
Mm.
paniniwala natin very traditional pa rin talaga, even that practices at the minimum, like grades, no? Kaya sabi mo nga, kapag nawala ng klase, homeroom ang unang-unang tatanggalin.
Yes.
Wag yung mga major content areas kasi hindi pareho ang timbang ng academic sa non-academic. Alam mo, nung
Yes.
nag-academic ako I was a physics teacher. Nung non-academic na ako and I was in formation, that's when I came to realize that it's not good to say academic, non-academic.
Yes.
All of these are actually make up the entire curriculum
Mm.
because in both are learning experiences that should be processed by the teacher. Ang problema
Yes.
kasi natin, masyado nating binibigyan ng weight ang academic.
Mhm.
Parang add-on na lang ang magandang homeroom program, magandang guidance program. Pero dito tayo, science, math, com arts, di ba? Which I think is not a very good way of looking at things holistically. Especially this
Yes,
current
agree.
generation where nasa fingertips mo ang content Di
Yes,
ba?
agree.
Pero yung maraming bagay, yung pakikipagkapwa, yung maintindihan mo ang sarili mo, makapag-cope ka sa mga mahihirap na problema.
Paano nga, Doris, panay ang cancel at suspend ng classes?
Pero kanina magko-comment sana ako, alam mo,
Meron
Doc
pang major
Michelle
at
at
saka
saka
meron pa akong
attorney.
comment dyan.
Hindi,
Yung meron
one,
pang
baka
subject.
makalimutan ko, Doc Michelle. Ako noon, nung mga anak ko maliliit, like ko sasabi, wag na wag aawayin ng teacher. Ang mga magulang, wag niyong aawayin ang mga teachers. Kaibiganin niyo sila.
Agree.
Kausapin niyo sila. 'Di ba? Kasi yung mga anak niyo, ilang oras sa isang araw, nasa kanila.
Ang
Maganda yung,
sasabihin ko dito, Miss,
oo.
ang
Yeah.
sasabihin ko, Miss Doris, di ba sinasabi lagi, in most school handbook, sa vision, mission, values, nandun yung holistic.
Holistic.
But actually, hindi ako naniniwala. Kasi very much yung major, non-major subject pa lang. Tapos nga, tatanggalan ng guide. Kasi ever since I was a guidance counselor, so alam ko ako yung unang tatamaan. Tapos maaalala ko kapag may problema na yung bata. Di ba? So, nasan yung holistic doon?
Agree,
Kasi
agree.
there are actually, if we would actually reflect, including sa Catholic schools, not very traditional, but there are ways to actually learn to listen, to really listen to them. And baka yung a little step, a little change in the system can actually help us connect to the core of the child. Kaya yung sinasabi mong your title, it's okay not to be okay. We can allow them to be so. You're not okay today, but will help you in your process to be better. So, ganun yung mangyayari sa school. Ayaw, yung anak na may problema, tulungan. Kasi kinupkup mo rin yun formation din yun Kasi normal na may pinagdadaanan, pero I would agree, I hope that we can see it in our lifetime.
Yeah, yung holistic. So, maganda yung na-bring up mo, Doris. So, I think sana dumating nga yung panahon na we give equal value, no? Sa hindi lang sa fundamental literacies, yung mga 'di ba, reading, writing and arithmetic, sabi nila, paano naman yung mga not strictly academic pero importante. And ito, as a lawyer, no, lagi kong binibring up ito sa mga schools. Meron tayong provision sa Constitution, yung Article 14, Section 3, Paragraph 2. The role of educational institutions, no? Basically, it's character formation. No, merong fundamental principle dyan. Diba? The education institution to inculcate patriotism, nationalism, teach morals, lahat nandiyan na. Lahat, I think, maraming schools dyan kinuha yung kanilang vision and mission or motto Diba? So, pero kahit may ganong mandato ang Constitution, parang ang focus yata natin ay so much on academics. Tingnan mo, may batas tayo, halimbawa na school calendar or school days, parang may minimum school days, parang pag yun na-meet mo, okay na. The rest yung mga non-academic days, hindi na importante yun. Parang ganun ang tingin,
Ang isa pa dyan, I agree with that. Tapos nawawala, di ba may clubs, ang school, ang private.
Yeah, importante yan.
Tapos hindi nawawala lagi.
Nawawala.
Hindi. Alam mo, may take ako dyan, nasa club na yan. Kaya like kung sinasabi, sa clubs or organizations, ang bata walang grade. And yet, nakikita mo ang taas ng kanyang initiative.
Participation,
At saka participation. Yan ang tunay na motivated.
May grade.
Not because there's a grade.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah. Pero yung iba may
pero
grade
tama
ng
ka.
school, may award pa na best in club, ganun.
Pero tama ka ha, yung holistic nasa mission. Ito pa, nasa mission din. Globally competitive. Favorite ko yan. Sa mga
Ayan na.
mission statement. Oo.
Competitive. Kaya nagiging overly competitive
I think.
Tapos mababa pa rin ang PISA results. Pero globally competitive ang mission ng ating mga schools.
So I think malapit na tayong matapos at napakasarap ng kwentuhan natin. Ito, Doc Michelle, now, because of all of these things, how important is the role of a guidance counselor in a school?
Um, that's a very good question because now that with everything that we're talking about mental health, the guidance counselor can be actually the one to help craft the program. Bigyan siya ng power. Pero hindi lang para sa bata, di ba? Para rin mag-suggest na, oh, meron tayong mga patterns as teacher. Yung ganito natin, hindi na siya nakakatulong. Bigyan din siya ng voice. Kasi baka kita niya yung impact eh. Kasi usually guidance counselor operate without biases. Ideally, ideally.
Mm-hmm.
Para nakikita niya for the welfare of the child. And I think, para yung mga napupunta rin sa kanya, it's actually the one really who needs critical help and support. Para the whole system. Kasi
Agree.
we have more normative kids and those with flourishing mental health.
Yes.
Pag ganun yung school, yung konti lang yung cases, alam nyo, that's a very good indicator. Wala bang nagre-report or masaya at satisfied at mentally okay lahat. Kasi pag ang daming kaso, you have to check ano yung cognitive demand ng school. Ano yung culture? Kasi sinasabi mo, ang ganda ng program. Pero baka naman araw-araw, sobrang daming hinihingi sa bata. Kahit maganda yung program. Kasi dun yun naging very competitive. So I think it's actually a very good way to check the system if it's actually supportive of the total, hindi ko na gagamitin holistic, of the total well-being of the child. Kasi I believe if the child is emotionally sound and mentally sound, the academics will follow. They will learn and they will thrive.
Kaya lang, ang problema yata, unang-una, kulang ang guidance counselors. How do we
Kulang.
encourage? Is that, ano bang position dyan ng, I'm sure you belong to mga groups, associations of
Yeah.
guidance counselors, marami yan, no? But ano bang, ninyo, how do we encourage more to join the profession? Kasi talagang kulang.
Well,
May kulang ba talaga?
kasi-
May shortage ba talaga?
Kasi ang daming trabaho.
Mm.
I'll be honest with you. We're losing good guidance counselor because also of the salary.
Salary.
Kasi reality yan Tapos bago ka maging guidance counselor, kailangan meron kang
May
master's
masters.
in. Okay. Tapos mag-aaral ka. So ang makukuha mo lang, yung talagang may puso. Kasi many are going psych graduates, psychometricians, and yung may mga guidance counselor license, they're also going to corporate organizations doing mental health work na mas malaki yung
Mas
salary.
malaki yung sweldo. Oo.
Pero
Yes.
siguro babalik ako doon, Attorney E, and Doc Michelle, every teacher should be a counselor. Hindi kailangan lahat ng teachers may puso. 'Di ba kasi kung wala kang
Agree.
puso, dapat di ka nagtuturo, wag ka diyan lalo na sa basic education. And then, ito lagi ko yung sinasabi. And second, ito I heard it from one conference that really, really resonated with me. Schooling is an experiential. Service or product. In other words, experience ito Kapag memorable at fun yung experience, yan yung dadalhin ng mga bata at yan ang sasabihin nila tungkol sa eskwelahan nila. Diba?
Puso ang kailangan. Magdagdag daw ng puso.
Asa na si Doc Michelle? Doc Michelle.
Kaya nga sabi nila, the heart of education is education of the heart. Ay ko narinig yun sa mga...
Hindi, pero di ba, sa akin,
Sa mga talks,
experiential,
oo.
alam mo, ito laging problema, marketing daw. The decline in enrollment can be solved by marketing. But how do you do your marketing? You are actually telling everyone about the school, the experience in the school. And who can best say that? Your alumni. Was
Yeah,
it a
the
very
parents
good
and the
experience in the school so that they can invite everyone else? Diba? Oh,
Agree.
marami tayong
Madami-
problema.
Madami sa school, ino-operate, pero hindi evidence-based. And because many are, especially the very established ones, who are very set in their ways. Tapos marami pang parameters din ang batas na dapat ganito, ito. Kaya nagkakaroon ng difficulty to navigate the new and the recurring challenges that we have.
Napakaganda naman nun. Kaya lang, challenge pa rin.
True.
Walang nagsabing madali. ang maging guro. Ay talagang mahirap yan. Kung hindi mo talaga yan kaya, doon ka sa mas madaling trabaho. Hindi ko
Ba't nga ba
nasasabihin
natin ito
kung ano yun.
pinasok?
Ha? Ba't mo
Ba't nga
pinasok?
pinasok ko
Ba't
nga
natin
Exactly.
ito
eh.
pinasok?
Papaguidance kita, Doc Michelle. Kung ganyan naman ang guidance counselor mo, hindi ka matatakot. Ano?
Pero siguro ang isa pang Doc Michelle na alalayan natin yung teachers. Nakakaawa din ang teachers ha, 40 na bata. Sabihin mong 5 lang doon ang merong mga seryosong
Agree.
problema. Ang draining yan ha, emotionally.
Just to share with you, meron akong libro, ang pangalan niya is You Can Care for You, The Soul and Science of Self-Care. Alam nyo, ang paborito kong gustong-gustong bigyan, the mothers and the teachers
Teachers,
ng
yes.
workshop. Kasi, tama kayo eh. You know, they're also mothers, they're also workers, they're also a part of someone's lives, but they have
Yeah.
40 children with
Yes.
them. So, kailangan alam nila kung paano alagaan yung sarili because still, it's the most noble profession for me, being a teacher.
Agree.
Yeah, napakaganda ng naging usapan natin. I think yung key takeaways natin ngayon, as para sa akin, Doc D, yung number one is how we empower our teachers, yung sinabi mo kanina, no, in addressing mental health issues, primarily of students, no. And then number two, how do we engage more the parents, no, in resolving this kasi hindi natatapos yan, hindi lahat nasusolve sa school. Para sa akin yun ang ano eh, yun ang and then of course we give importance to our guidance counselors and we value them and the challenge really is how to encourage more, no, to join the profession. At ganun din yung mga teachers, how do we get more teachers na may puso? Yun nga sabi mo, Doc D. Para sa akin, napaka ano nun, very powerful yung messages na yun, of course, coming from our experts.
Sige. Ako kasunod, para last na magsasalita si Doc Michelle. Alam mo yung mga anak ko nung maliliit pa sila, pagpunta ko sa school, tinitingnan ko yung mga mukha ng teachers. Lalo na sa preschool. Tinitingnan ko kung maayos ang buka ng mukha, kung nag-smile ng madalas. Because definitely teachers in basic ed are really make or break. Make or break. Sa isang EDCO meeting na tanong kami, ano ang dapat na klase ng estudyante ang ma-produce natin, no, at the end of basic education? Of course, aside from the thinking skills, ang like ko sinasabi, confidence, kumpiyansa sa sarili. Ibig sabihin, very, very good ang self-esteem ng bata. And that, actually, bad teachers can destroy that.
Yes,
You know, the
totoo yun.
self-esteem
Agree.
of the child, the
Super.
confidence of the child, and you already have for life, you know, scarred the child, no? So sa akin, no, kung ganun din lang po tayo ng mga berdugo na teachers, wag na po. Wag na tayo sa teaching profession.
Yeah. Bago pasingit lang ako, Doc Michelle, susundan ko lang yung sinabi ni Doris. Sabi nga nila, yung bata no na very enthusiastic na pumasok sa school nung early years niya, right? Then it will only take one bad teacher to ruin everything, no? Mawawala lahat 'yon. Pero kabaliktaran din noon yung bata na masyadong attached pa sa parents, hindi masyadong pumapasok sa school. All it takes also is that one good teacher to encourage. So talagang napakalaking bagay ng role ng teachers. Anyway, Doc Michelle, what are your encouraging words to our listeners at viewers natin?
So, if you are the parent, if you are the educator, if you are the administrator, ito lang iwanan ko with our topic. You have to be the safe space of each child. Maybe hindi natin kayang sagipin lahat from their problems, but if we can help one soul or two, we have, accomplished more than the content of the class. Kasi ang matatandaan, naniniwala ako, kasi yun din sa akin personal experience, hindi ko natandaan yung teachers ko on what they taught me. Ang mas natatandaan ko, sino yung mga teacher na dun sa mga time that I'm so stressed with math, I'm looking for direction sa career path ko nung high school. These are the teachers who actually supported me. Hanggang ngayon, I'm in contact with them. Sila yung nakatulong sa paghubog ko. So we hope that we are not part of the problem, but we're part of the solution.
Napakaganda naman. Okay, Doc Michelle, I think we're done, but siguro maybe you want to promote your upcoming events or your book. Maybe you can tell about that.
Yeah. For teachers, for everyone, I have powerful books. One, it's on family, it's family goals. The second is The Beauty of 40 and Wrapping the Gift of Midlife. It's about midlife for those who are in 40s and beyond. And last is the You Can Care for You, the Soul and Science of Self-Care. You can look for it at feastbooks.ph or Feast Books in Lazada and Shopee. And this, can I just promote also our ministry?
Yes,
I
yes.
um I lead a ministry, a Catholic from a Catholic group called Light of Jesus, meaning our community is the feast, but we give psycho-spiritual help on donation basis. Just check out the page Light of Jesus Pastoral Care. We provide free sessions for those adults going through difficulty. So sa mga teachers natin, you don't trust any people in school, or sa buhay mo, you can come to us because there's somebody who will reply to you via messenger.
Napakaganda nun.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you, Doc Michelle.
Thank you,
Thank you,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat.
It's my
Gusto rin
pleasure.
namin imbitahan lahat ang mga nanonood ngayon. No? Please check our Facebook, Usapang Ed with Attorney E and Doc D. We also have a YouTube, Usapang Ed with Attorney E and Doc D podcast, and also on Spotify. We can be found there. So we had a very good discussion tonight, Attorney E.
Kulang ang
And-
oras. So,
Oo.
maraming salamat, Doc D.
Pero nalungkot ako, no? Dami nating problema. Dami nating iniisip.
Hindi talaga tayo magsasabay dito.
Paano ba ito? Okay, so maraming salamat sa inyo lahat. We'll see you again on Monday.
On
Usapang
Sapang Ed.